Welcome. Episode 80. It's your boy Sebbz, solo Sebbz today. Um, this is the second take. I tried to be one take Hove, and the SD card said "fuck out of here." I recorded that joint at 3 a.m. and yeah, that joint chalked me. I went to go upload it, and that joint was like, "It's no file." So yeah, that was interesting to find out. Y'all can imagine how my heart felt. Y'all probably heard me singing "Not Like Us" in the beginning of this. I probably didn't, like, even as a big ass Kendrick fan as I am, I didn't listen to that song for more than 50 times. It's a bop though. Like, I'm not one of them people like, I mean, it's cool. I don't see why. It's the beat. Like, I'm not one of them people. Yeah. It's been a long time. Real quick, technical difficulties are a bitch, especially doing stuff alone. Like, let me actually, y'all will see me peek over at the recorder to make sure the shit is recording throughout, even though last time I said it was recording. And I don't know if y'all can see, but I got 5 different SD cards over here, and only like 2 work at this point. Maybe I should learn how to make like damn near bulletproof SD cards, because SanDisk don't be working that well for me. I'm on like my 3rd set of them Johns. Samsung don't be working that well for me. I'm kind of nervous, even though it's my second take. Tried to be one take over, it didn't work. Yeah, man. Hopefully y'all doing good out there. I'm coming back off a little mini hiatus. Went to Chicago 1 week. When was the last time we dropped the episode 79? What date was that? Because y'all know I like to be consistent. Or, well, y'all don't know, but yeah, July 23rd. So, yeah, I'm about to, I'm about to take over this podcast game, man. But it's been a lot. It's a lot to talk about. Action packed. 80th show. I feel like that's a milestone show for us. 80 weeks of doing something. I'm putting in I think I done passed the 10,000 hours of listening to podcasts and studying podcasts. From your Combat Jacks, rest in peace to your Charlemagne's, to your Tax Stones, even to down to Star, who's now rebranded to Troy Terrain. Even as a kid, listening to Wendy Williams in the car, not knowing what the fuck was going on. Like, how does this lady know about everybody's business, even though some might have been fake or some might have been real, whatever. My parents listening to Word, shit like that. So trying out the solo thing for now. Kaz and Mike might make their return next week. It's 2 busy fellows. The biggest thing of the past month, I would say, was the Olympics. Shout out Queen Shikari, Princess Shikari, whatever. She's fast as shit. She got a gold and she got a bronze. She probably would have had 2 golds if there wasn't some bullshit going on. If you didn't stay in the Olympic Village, where you had to walk like 45 minutes to an hour in order to get into the village because you weren't staying. It was some dumb shit. And basically, you gotta use your legs for all sports, and you need fresh legs. So imagine you walking an hour and then going to run and tracking bronze. You are amazing, to say the least. So shout out to her. Shout out to Noah Lyles, one of the most exciting race finishes ever. Nigga won by what, 0.04 of a second or something like that. So shout out to him. Crack open. He seems like a fucking hater. Like, I don't know, like, niggas, of course, they always say, it's a lot of times when it seems like someone's a little bit jealous and you can't see why. Look for the common denominator is usually a woman when it comes to men. I don't know, one of these NBA dudes cracked like his queen or whatever, but yeah, they had some new report come out allegedly. He denied it, but allegedly, Ant was having like a shoe press release or something like that, or a party or whatever about his shoe, because if you haven't been paying attention, Ant is the guy over at Adidas, and basically they were like, he was like, yeah, he hasn't been to an NBA championship. Why am I going to his shoe? Why does he get a shoe? And it's like, bro, people love Ant. Like, Ant is one of the most charismatic players we've seen in a very long time that stays out of trouble. Trouble is subjective in a sense. Like, what I mean? Even with the baby moms, it's consensual sex. Seems like he's staying out of trouble to me. But yeah, no allows. Congratulations, but like, turn your hate down, bro. Um, the weirdest shit, or I would say the biggest fiasco as far as surrounding Olympic discourse, was the I forgot her name again. Emaine, I think that's how I say it. Emaine Khalif or something like that. Um, the Algerian boxer. Yeah, Emaine Khalif, and an Algerian boxer. Y'all lost your fucking mind. Um, just on the principal perspective, the principal perspective of her country, her home country, Algeria is they ban transgender. Like you cannot change your gender over there. So yeah, I think they're gonna let this woman, I mean this man, cosplay a woman in the Olympics on the world stage. What the fuck are you talking about? I think she actually won gold, so congrats to her. Then she filed an harassment lawsuit. She could probably file a couple defamation lawsuits because at first I was confused. I saw the headlines on Twitter, but you know you gotta always do your research. And I think the problem is, you know, a lot of people diss school nowadays, and we do need alternative routes. Everybody shouldn't go to college, in my opinion. Some people do need trade schools. Some people do, have the ability to be creative, or also have the ability to think outside the box and be an entrepreneur, fill a need that, or fill a desire that is, you know, missing in society. So everybody's not going to go to school, but the problem is a lot of people fucked up in those elementary years or those middle school years. They had the fuck school mentality the entire time, and y'all don't know how to like look for sources, like legit sources, like fuck APA and MLA format. Y'all don't know how to recognize like, yo, this website seems a little shaky. Like this seemed like my man Rick up the street wrote this John. Oh shit, it's 7 typos in the first paragraph, but y'all just headline readers. But I saw a very trusted source. They had to come out and apologize, but when I first was looking it up, I'm like, wait, shit, man, wait, what's going on? Because I think that's totally unfair, but that's another conversation. But shout out to her for getting gold. Y'all was acting like, yeah, I could just look and tell a gender. No, you can't. No, you can't. I'm trying to think of the politically correct way to say it, but like y'all have seen the word that it's a derogatory term, so I don't want to use it. But y'all have seen women that look like men in the community, bro. Like, and we let them rock out. Well, most people let them rock out, and y'all still say that's a woman. So why is it so dumb here? Yeah, she won. If y'all pay attention, any type of attention to the show, y'all would know basketball is my. If it's your first time here, basketball my favorite thing probably ever invented. Yeah, shout out to basketball. So that was the thing I was most excited for, and I'm happy that teams are competing with the USA on on a world stage at this point, making the games competitive, because the Serbia game, one of the best games I ever saw, 17-point comeback by Team USA. The France game, one of the best games I ever saw, marvelous finish by Steph Curry. But truthfully though, like, I think the happiest thing I could say about the basketball part of the Olympics, just all the Olympics period, it seemed like everybody had to overcome some type of adversity. You know, in sports, the best thing, I think the best way you sell sports or sell merchandise connected to sports or sell, you know, anything, is telling a story. I think there's a story on all fronts, on all, like, this is Steph Curry's last one, or this is his only chance to get gold or whatever. This is LeBron's last one. We obviously see, because he was out there motherfucking like Santa Claus. And Katie just loved basketball so much, they're gonna have to take both his Achilles for him not to play in 2028, I believe. Like, let me knock on some wood. I hope it doesn't happen. But the happiest thing to me, I didn't see any agenda pushing outside of we can get into the Michael and LeBron thing a little bit later, but I didn't see much agenda pushing between the big three. For the last, I would say our reign stopped in 2011 when the Mavs stopped us, when they swept us. So since that era, KD came and took Kobe lunch the next year, as far as the Thunder, and met LeBron in the finals. And then about 3 years later, Steph started to meet LeBron in the finals, Steph and KD. So I would say that's the big three of the last 13 years. I didn't see much discourse. It was a bunch of unity and appreciation and adoration for each other's games. I think a lot of the time people get into this discourse about who's better too much. I like the way that Embiid played. I love the way Devin Booker played too. I want to give him some credit. Embiid, Devin Booker, KD, Steph, and LeBron. They all showed. I want to talk about the biggest four. No disrespect to Devin Booker, because he did all the little things that a lot of people would not do, and that I think that's what basketball is about. Sometimes sacrificing so for the betterment of the team. And I feel like with a lot of talent in the NBA now, a lot of people don't want to sacrifice because they want the highlight play or whatever. But they all showed their different superpowers. I think Joel Embiid is a fucking tree. Like, bro, you're a tree that can play incredible paint defense, can switch onto a guard certain plays, can shoot like a guard at certain days. When that jump shot clicking, there's not much you could do. It's not much you can do, period. When he recognizes I'm a tree and you move out the way, that's his superpower. LeBron, his versatility is superpower. He was guarding Jokic some plays. He was running the floor like a freight train while also attracting the defense and kicking out the Devin Booker for threes on runs. KD's ISO scoring, KD's timely shot making, I think is underrated. I think that's a big part of what makes him such a prolific scorer. He's very timely with his shots, and demoralizing. KD's versatility, even though he can't really guard bigs that well because he's a little slimmer, but yeah. And also Steph, we've seen it 4 straight threes against France in the finals, and cooking against Serbia. Like, yeah, that type of stuff. I think there's all that shot Steph made to look off KD and Bron. KD, you got I think those are the top 2 Olympic scorers ever, outside of Carmelo. He hit a 3 over Batum and I think the other guard on the other team, double team, to like twist the knife at the end of the game. That's his superpower, shooting the ball, moving without the basketball. Like, I think that's a superpower. And we do so much comparing and debating. And I could throw it in there, Skip Bayless, left FS1, left Undisputed or whatever. I think that cold pizza shit really ruins sports discourse. Because everybody thinks they're Skip Bayless. Everybody thinks they're Stephen A. Smith. Everybody thinks they're Max Kellerman when he's up there. Everybody thinks they're Shannon Sharp. And I'm happy for these guys to be getting paid athlete money. And Shannon Sharp is a former athlete, so I'm happy that he was able to parlay a Hall of Fame football career into a Hall of Fame. And he's probably going to be in the Analyst Hall of Fame if there's such thing. But for the average citizen, there's so much prep. There's so much people feeding you information. And it's just like, people just argue these agendas over and over again. It's like, do you like the sport? Or you're just hate watching? And it's like, the Olympics was pure in a sense, like as far as that goes. Yeah, the 17-point comeback against I knew Bogdanovich was nice. We knew Jokic was nice. They kept double teaming. You cannot double team him for a split second. It doesn't work. Wemby's going to be in trouble. He won, I think, a silver or a bronze, one of them, and he was crying. So it's like, this the corniest you're gonna be. This kind of crazy. He came down full speed, cracked Joel with a hezzy and dunked that shit. I said, oh, no, he might have broke basketball. Because I'll be looking at Joel sometimes like, this nigga is breaking basketball. And I forgot the runner. I think she has a bronze medal. They're going to have to come get that back in blood. The Olympic committee said, like, yeah, we need that back. Catch me on the block. Shout out to USA. They were tied with China. I think 40 gold medals in total. The most medals, period. I think it was U.S. As far as medal tally, it was U.S., China, then Japan. Yeah, so exciting Olympics. What the human body could do is really amazing. I think about this every Olympics with them doing the diving and swimming and synchronized swimming. It's insane. Just those runners is insane. You see people running 400 meters and having to pace themselves, and you see it like you're your own coach on the field. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I missed a week. To get into like lighter things, I missed a week. I went to Chicago, had a great time on Chicago. I think I went away for college to kind of break open the Chicago trip. Had a really good time. Shout out Chicago. And what else happened? There's a lot that's been going on. If you haven't checked it out, Lil Baby has an architectural design video of his home in Atlanta. He called it his bachelor pad. That shit is not a pad. That shit is, I know people call houses a pad, but that shit is fucking huge and beautiful. That's a motivating ass house. And I know I said it before on the show, like, yeah, I don't really get motivated about stuff like that. As a person that's really into homes and home decor now, like I'm getting old, that crib is insane. Like, to say that I hate to use such elementary adjectives, but the shit had me like, the entire time I'm watching, I'm like, there's no fucking way. Like, it's like, yeah, I got this table custom made from Italy and this and that, and it's like, damn, there's really a lot more in life than arguing about Steph being better than KD or Steph better than Bron now. Yeah, but the Lil Baby architectural design video might have got me. I think I'm gonna go through that whole channel and get my life together, because I don't even want the crib that big. I just want some night. I didn't know you can do all that to a house, in a sense. Like, I'm from Philly. We live in row homes a lot of the time. We live in, like single family homes, and I'm in inner city Philly. You really don't even fathom cribs like that. And he did it in what, less than 8 years, truthfully, when he started rapping, like 2016ish. So it's doable. I think that's great motivation. That crib, like, I like cars and shit, but that crib. I'm not sure if y'all watched Nipsey's brother, Black Sam. Shout out to Black Sam. Has an interview with the legendary Big Boy out of LA. Great fucking interview, man. I think Big Boy gave him the space to feel comfortable enough to show emotions throughout the interview. A couple times he got caught. Of course, that's his brother. That was his right hand man. Even though it's been 5 years, time goes by really fucking fast. But felt comfortable enough to express emotions and let some tears go during the interview, talking about his brother, reminiscing on his brother, reminiscing on the day, and felt comfortable enough to say, like, I don't think it was a random act. I think it was sent there. Like, cuz wasn't good in the hood. Like, so for him to speak on it so candidly, I gotta say it was a great interview. Just breaking down, like Toot said, a lot of people say 5 to 7 years for grief. I personally, I'm not gonna say I disagree with Toot. I think it gets a little bit more, like, you could talk about it, but it doesn't necessarily get easier. As a person that has lost a few people close to me, yeah, that I felt for him. You know what I mean? Because honestly, it's not. I couldn't really talk about it in an interview setting for the world to see. Like, I would cut the cameras. Like, seriously. But just talking about Hustle's prowess, his visionary mindset, him always looking for information. Just even yesterday, I was watching the Hustle interview, and he was talking about how he wanted 10 marathon stores. He was talking Mark Echo at Complex, he had a meeting with Complex. And he was like, yeah, I want 10 stores. And he was like, no, go e-commerce. That goes to set up for now Marathon can still run their business without people having to be in the physical store. Hustle had the first smart store, I think, in the world or the US at least. That's, like, for a rapper, that's insane. And that's because he met someone at Starbucks. I meet people all the time. Nobody put me no fucking smart store. Just saying, like, Nipsey, I think one of his superpowers, in a sense, because I believe we all do have a superpower, was his ability to carry himself, humble himself in the right situations, but display extreme confidence also in the same situations. Like, yeah, I'm here on equal footing with you, even though I don't know as much. And I think a lot of us look down upon, like, oh, who that nigga think he is? And it's like, yo, he might be that nigga in that field. Not to say you're not that nigga on your own, but in this field, you're not there yet. You ain't. What Ye said this way. I've been doing this more than you, and sometimes you gotta humble yourself. For Big Boy to say, I'm almost 20 years hustle senior, and usually when I run into people I'm cool with, they tell me about a restaurant, they tell me about a vacation to take. Hustle tell me about books. That shows dude was on a different wavelength mentally. For Hustle to recognize the independent grind and look at it like, look, I'm only signing on my exact terms. And he never lit the streets on fire as far as having platinum or gold records. But Nipsey had a real fan base, not a manufactured or marketed to quote unquote fan base that that's made by the, like, oh, he got the big Atlantic cosign, oh, he got the Def Jam. No, his cosign is Jay-Z buying a CD for 10,000. I think that was Crenshaw. Like, he bought 100 copies. I think he might have bought one CD for 10,000 or 100 copies. I know he sent them 10,000. Like, that's his type of cosign. Like, dog, you just think outside the box. He collabed with Ryan Leslie. We all know Ryan Leslie's a genius. But the interview was just amazing, man. As far as, I'm not even talking about content. I'm talking about just to see someone so strong and to be able to document the good times, to be able to document what made Nip, what made him, as far as Black Sam. Give Big Boy his flowers at the same time. But yeah, that ending was pretty rough. But shout out to Nipsey, man. I was one of the only solo people actually calling Victory Lap Album of the Year early 2019. I know Nip passed away March 31st, 2019, but I was one of the only people when, like, the top of 2019, people was asking, what's your album of the year last year? I said Victory Lap, no hesitation. I said right under that is Redemption by J-Rock for me. That's just me. Yeah, I always saw Nip. I was waiting for his debut album. Waiting for Victory Lap for years for it to be on a major. He got it. Got a classic Kendrick Lamar feature. Diddy's a fucking weird nigga, but what he did to Young Nigga, really good. Got a really good CeeLo feature. Got The Dream on there. Marsha, I forgot her name, the singer from Flowetry. She did her thing. Belly did his thing on Double Up. Just a classic album in my opinion. I always thought it was top tier from the rip. 2018, you got to think, what was that? Culture One might have came out. What else came out? Scorpion came out 2018. I was always Victory Lap or Redemption. Honestly, I don't really care about sales and shit like that. So that's why I can appreciate the art and respect the numbers. I think what Drake did, we'll get into Drake a little later. Drake has done his career is amazing. I think what Cole has done his career is amazing. I think what Dot has done his career is amazing. But I also think what Wale has done is amazing. You know what I mean? So I respect the art and I respect the numbers. Yeah, what else? Just a quick transition. Y'all niggas are selling Chi-Chis. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? And niggas are paying like $20 for it. I'm very confused. Like, I understand lack of resources making you creative, but like, you outside. That's like, I used to know this nigga, I'm not gonna say his name. I grew up top. Well, I ain't gonna say it was bad when I was younger. It was okay. Like, niggas that do dumb shit, shootings probably once a year or whatever. Twice a year. Nothing crazy, right? And this was one boy's bad as shit. He used to always go to jail. Like, little juvie and shit. And he used to come back, and it was like he was getting more institutionalized as it went on. At first, he went away for like a year or two. I think like 2 years. Came back, tall as shit. And I'm like looking at this nigga. I'm like, damn, how the fuck you know the trends on the clothes? I'm like, I'm young. I don't really know. But this nigga had a shoestring as his fucking belt. He's like, yeah, that's how we had to do it in jail. Yeah, we can go to the poppy store right now, bro. You're not in jail. I swear to God, if you got a quarter, you can get a bag of chips. That's how old I am. Like, I swear to God, they'll sell it to you. Like, you don't have to do this. But that's, I would say, my, not first exposure, but my first note, like me noticing, like, damn, yo, it's a mentality thing. Like, it's really a mentality thing. Me and Kaz talked about it when Beanie Siegel, I think they were celebrating people being out of jail. And they made Chi-Chi's, and when Beanie Siegel was at the event, it's like, nah, man, that ain't the wave, in my opinion. But what do I know? I'm just in finance. And, you know what I mean? Clean sneakers on the side. Yeah, but we gotta start calling lame shit lame. What, we 25 minutes in? I got a lot more to go, y'all. It ain't one of them episodes. What else is going on? Oh, the word demure is trending. Y'all gotta relax. Please relax. It's all because of a TikTok sound. If y'all see the Google Analytics, I'm not sure if y'all know how to look it up, but Google Analytics shows you like the history of searches for a word, and the shit is on a legit extreme crescendo in the past 2 weeks, to where it's like y'all all discovering this word. I'm happy y'all expanding y'all vocabulary though. Hopefully whoever put that out can give us a new word next week. And hopefully we could do ascertain. Maybe we could do crescendo next week. Whatever. And you know, but demure is funny as shit. Everybody's demure now. Who was it? Terrence, Keese, all of them, Kaz, they was all like, yeah, I gotta mute this shit. Yeah, that's funny as shit. But yeah, I just find it funny how everything is a fucking trend. I guess if we make an education and vocabulary a trend, I can't be too mad. Check off some shit, make sure I'm getting through everything. Skip Bayless, yeah, I'm gonna do all that. What's the next for Skip for y'all? I wonder where Skip going, honestly. I'm trying to think. I think he could do independent media, because I think he still got his radio show. So yeah, I think he still got his radio show. And quick, just before we get into the next topic, posting is a thing for me, just because I'm not gonna say a thing, but posting consistently hasn't been my strong suit. I'm not gonna lie. I put the episode out and I try to let the episode live organically, but that's not how it works. I'm battling people with 8 to 9 figure marketing budgets between, you know, combining companies. You got your Joe Rogan, yeah, Joe Button, you got Serial, you know, so it's like you're battling people. You got to push your own product. And like Tyler said, if you really believe in something, why wouldn't you push it? So I think this is a thing I want to do. I consume a lot of content, and it's not on some, oh, I could do this better, but I think I have my own unique way. I'm the only child that is very considerate of other people. I think that's unique in itself. I'm the only child who's I feel like I have a very interesting perspective that, you know, maybe I should let people in on. So I will be posting more on TikTok, maybe even some old clips. So you got no worries about that. Hopefully y'all like it. You know, I might even be solo the whole time. And my head is big as shit in this video, so fuck it. We can get into music. There's a lot going on in music. Lotto sold 27K allegedly, or she's projected to sell 27K. I feel like, you know, I'm not much of a Lotto fan. I can see the appeal to her music though. Her music is not god awful to me. I understand why people like it. I thought she would sell more, I'm not gonna lie. She has a Nudie feature, Tizo feature. She got Cardi B, Meg, Ryder Scientist, Tizo, Coco Jones, Huncho. Yeah, I thought she would sell more, I'm not gonna lie. But Key said it to me yesterday on Twitter. Was like, is this good or bad, bro? And I'm like, honestly, if you could just parlay it into brand deals, and just pushing product shows and whatnot, and you're good. It doesn't really fucking matter first you sells, because there's people out here selling 100K, and they probably are a little ambitious on venues. People was just giving Future and Metro slack for selling out 75% of the Toronto arena, and it's like they're beefing with their god of music, and I think that's pretty good. And then they got mad because Metro put sold out, and the thing about sold out is different parameters qualify for. It's not just 100% capacity that qualifies as sold out. I know that in your brain as the average consumer, it will go to that like, yo, it's not sold out until the last ticket is gone. But there's a percentage, because with live shows, a lot of the time, and I'm not talking about ass, at least maybe it changed in the 6 years since I left, but let's say you agree to a show and the capacity is 2,000. There is sometimes a sellout bonus, and yeah, I don't think you can agree like 50% is the bonus. I think it might be 75 to 85%, or like the lowest you can go, as far as you getting a sellout bonus or saying you're able to say your show is sold out. Plus, also sold out creates a FOMO thing where it's like, damn, that shit must have been popping. I gotta go to a different spot. Yeah, so yeah. Her selling 27K, as long as that next tour she could do Fillmore size was Fillmore like 3,000 person spots. I think she's doing pretty well. I think you're doing pretty well, because you can get in those type of you can get in like the observatory. You go to the observatory, and I was a part of it. You can do back-to-back shows and go get your bag. Now you in 6 figures in a day. Cool. Come to Philly, do Fillmore 2 days in a row, possibly, like stuff like that. You can Franklin Music Hall 2 days in a row. You could pack it out. You can have that bread. So shout out to her, man. I don't really give a fuck about sales. Care more about quality. It's people that's selling. I don't think it's the best shit, personally. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Even though I don't think it's a bad quality album, I don't think it's the same. Even though he cut it more, I think Good Kid, Mad City is a more easily palatable album. I don't think that sold more than Mr. Morale. I think Views is Drake's best selling album. I don't think that's his best album, but but those are honestly all-time tier artists at this point. So who knows? I just find it funny. People were saying girls were running rap, and it's like, where? What substantiates this? What's your evidence? She sold the same amount as JT, which is kind of crazy because it was killing JT. I'm not sure if Ice Spice sold anything. Well, I'm not sure if she sold more or less. But we can go into sales. DJ Mustard had a crash out. I think he sold an equivalent of 18,000 or 17.8 or something like that, 17.6, and he rounded it up. His first week with the album. I think, for what I'm hearing, is the album is fucking buns, and Perfect 10 was really good, so it's very disappointing. I'm very scared to click the album, and I heard this from a reliable source. Like, me and Keith don't agree on everything, but sometimes we do have a lot of the same taste. And yeah, he was like, even the Vince and Schoolboy song is whack, and I was like, what? Like, they got my 2 favorite albums this year. So I'm like, oh shit, this is weird. Excuse me. I think with the momentum of Not Like Us, even on the album, he says, shout out to Kendrick, he ain't even had to do much, man. He gave me a rollout. I had to roll it out. No, you gotta roll that joint out, bro. Because I think what a lot of people don't know is Mustard went through not a legal battle, but he went through a hell of a battle with his former label or publishing deal, and he had to buy his way out. And he was like, yo, I kind of used all my bread for that, and now I'm starting to get the benefits to where I don't have to produce as much. So you'll see Mustard less, honestly. We've seen him less in the last 5 years versus like that 2012 or 2011, whenever Tigers start going crazy. to like that 2017 run, you seen Mustard a lot, and it was a precipitous drop off once he started to, you know, kind of focus and get his business right. As he said, like, yo, I was doing all these songs and I wasn't even getting proper compensation. And I check it out, I go into the contract, and what the fuck was the point of that? I buy myself out, and it's like I'm gonna do less music. I get to kind of do more passion projects and work on things. So I was curious to see how that would go. I think this is his first album post that deal or deal buyout, and I'm not hearing good things. Now to the agenda pushing, and I think this has started with, or is ripple effect, honestly. People are always going to push agendas, but I'm going to make connection to like the Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smiths of the world, where like academics tweeted out Mustard's first week sales. They were very low, 18K. Everybody's killing them. Academics TV, who is allegedly funded by academics himself, whatever. Everybody's killing them, and cool, they can kill him. Mustard crashes out. He said, y'all niggas are worried about album sales. Y'all niggas race, or album sales is white supremacy. Nigga, you was just happy about the number one. Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, you be like, yo, the number one don't mean shit to me, man. I'm just happy I'm making money or whatever. Like, cool. You can say that. That's fair to me. But you can't say album sales or numbers basically are white supremacy. Calling, what did he say? I want to get the tweets right. I'm gonna get these fucking tweets right. Cause he was going crazy. He called Drake Drizzlom or some shit. He was going crazy. The Nation of Drizzlom. He called Drake supporters the Nation of Drizzlom. That's funny as shit. That is fucking hilarious. I didn't know he was funny. That was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. What the fuck is it at? Where the fuck is it at? Hold on. DJ Mustard. The Malcolm X of white people.
Drake.
The Malcolm X of white people is insane. Yeah, it's it was fun. It was fun. I can't find the fucking tweets. Yeah, they say he crashed out. I don't really think he really crashed out. I'm just using the fucking chronically online term. I think he got annoyed by the trolls, and also I think he saw the agenda. Gordo announced his album that same week. We dropping like 2 days before, and it was a lot of anticipation because he had 2 Drake tracks on there. Fair, very fair. The problem was, and Mustard said it in his rants, but nobody wants to really crack it open. Like, I like to have a fair conversation, a non-agenda driven conversation. Gordo's album was riding on Drake. Gordo had a festival that week, which is really smart. You drop 2 Drake songs, and go to a festival. So smart. Now, did Drake tell him, like, I think that's a good idea? Did Drake rack this up? What we do know is, what did Drake call himself? The petty king on Omerta. Like, so, look at my history. I think that's Omerta. So, he might have told him, like, yo, push that shit up. It might have been coming out the 19th or whatever date it came out. Mustard is saying, academics, why don't you post Gordo's first week numbers? Gordo didn't even fucking, like, Mustard was down on the chart. I didn't see Gordo's name. I think Gordo sold like 12K or something like that. Maybe 16. I might be being really nice on that, really generous. But I know he sold lower than Mustard. And Mustard did have a Travis feature, but Drake is the numbers guy. 2 Drake records, and you don't sell more than Mustard. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But what I do notice since the beef is Drake is on his ninth drop. Um, Drake is on his ninth drop since the beef. I don't. I think because I want to be very fair. I don't know if the 3-pack was a fuck you to Lucian and all of them. Because I think he knows he can't just drop music like that. He has a $400 million deal where he basically licensed himself, like not just his music, it's himself. They got video rights, merchandise rights, um, all types of rights. Basically, they own Drake for a couple years. And $400 million. I mean, fuck you. You're not gonna stop making music, whatever. I think I don't want to call these songs throwaways because It's Up is really good to me. I think that's really good. Like I don't think it's like, oh my god, it's a classic, one of the best Drake songs ever. But he rapping on there, like he doing all right, doing really good. I think that's his best rapping since the beef. I think I like Thug's part. I surprisingly like 21's part. I think 21's gotten a real cookie cutter with his verses ever since he figured out how to rap. But yeah, it's been a slow. I think only thing that charted top 50 is You My Everything with Sexy Red, and she has a hell of a TikTok social media presence in herself. So like I don't even know if the Drake stimulus pushed her all the way up. Maybe it did. I'm pretty sure the combination, because I think that's what Drake recognizes is a perfect storm of a lot of the times. Like I'm already Drake. Oh, and somebody's here. We combine together, it's gonna go up here. But that's topped at 44. And as Irv Gotti said back in the day, top 40 is considered a hit. So it's like Drake hasn't had a hit, and he's released 9 songs since the beef. Actually, his Housekeeping Knows song with Lotto was his least streamed song in like first day in Spotify history or something like that. To be fair, he did drop the songs 3 days before putting them on streaming. He dropped them on the 100 Gigs website, which lets me open up another conversation. I think that's his. He has 2 moves I really, 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 really like since the beef. I don't know what the fuck Kendrick's doing, so yeah, I can't say if I like or dislike his move since the beef. But Drake announced an album with P&D. I think the album is a little late, but it'll still work because I think P&D makes really good music. Obviously, I think Drake makes really good music. I think P&D is the formula for Drake's R&B. You're gonna do an album with them? Cool. I think that was really, I think that's brilliant. Also, the dropping 100 gigs, even minus the songs, or we can exclude the songs. Whatever you feel about the songs doesn't even matter. He dropped so much content to show how connected he was to his fans' lives. Like even if you like, I was gonna say my life, but or our lives, but even if you're not a Drake fan, cool. You might just ignore the whole thing. Like I haven't went all the way in there yet because it's fucking 100 gigs, but for him to go all the way in there and show the making of You With Me with an alternate verse, show the making of Hotline Bling and why he called it Hotline Bling, which is kind of corny, but whatever. But just show like it was very personable. Show like, yo, I've really been a part of all these moments in y'all lives. It was to win us over. It was to win back public favor. It was very smart. I think it was very, very smart, very strategic. I don't think he did it for no reason. Keith, I always used to say Drake was super calculated. Keith always used to say no. He's just a tall dwarf in a sense. Like a lot of the people he's going against might not be that calculated, and you don't have to be that calculated at that point. And sometimes during the beef, I was like, damn, Keith might have been right. I think this was very calculated and very smart. I think the P&D shit is very calculated and very smart. Especially coming over P&D 4. I didn't listen. I'm checked out on P&D, but people that love the album. So Yeah, that was very smart. What do y'all think about Drake not charting well since the beef? Do you think the superpowers are really being neutralized? My homie Will, my bro Will, he think like, yo, he's not what he once was. He needs to stop it, basically. Me personally, I don't think Drake ever gonna be finished. I think he's too connected. I think people are. I think Drake is the best content creator in the world. Not the best, but he's the number one content creator in the world, should I say? And I'm not trying to take anything away from Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, Your Rage, them type of Duke Dennis, these type of guys. I think Drake knows how to attach himself to anything with any type of momentum better than anybody and make content out of it. Even with before Sexy Red, he tried to do it with Ice Spice. I don't know if she didn't let him hit or she wasn't down or he just was like, yo, you know, this music really fucking sucks. I can't even do it. I'm not doing my Joker. And that didn't work out. Cool. Unfollows her, boom. But the fact that she was at his show, fanfare. Even though people were already in the crowd, but that's just fanfare. Or she was in Toronto, period, fanfare. It keeps you circulating. Like Kai Cenat, every day you can find a different Kai Cenat clip online without, and Drake doesn't have to drop music. Then he goes and gets the Sexy Red thing. Cool. You don't even need Ice Spice at that point. Like, cool. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the chart, and I don't think Drake is done. I think he's the number one content creator. He's just gonna figure out a way to pivot and make more content. I don't really like the Drake house music or the party type songs, honestly. But people do. People that like it, like it. We can crack open the conversation a little bit more. And really quick, Steve Stout said something that was a few years ago, when Drake was renegotiating this deal for this $400 million or doing a new deal where they wanted to give him $400 million. Stout was like, yo, Drake is gonna get the biggest record deal in music history or music by far, because they know if Drake goes independent, he's gonna make what do you say, $10 million a week for 52 weeks or 60 weeks. And I want to know why not go independent at that point. Because you'll but you'll surpass that deal in a year. Or is it the upfront money that gives you the leeway of their security? Like J. Cole said it back in the day, you know, Dame Dash, I forgot who else, but niggas used to diss 360 deals. I think Leroy Cohen came up with the concept, but J. Cole was like, I'll take a 360 deal because I know they have to keep me hot, because their hand is in all my pockets. Like, they get the merch money, they get show money, they get the album sales money, they get the radio, the ASCAP money, like they get all that. So it's like, yeah, and J. Cole's, I would say he's pretty smart. Summa cum laude, like, so knows how to research things. Pretty smart. Was he summa cum laude? No, he was. I think he was grand cum laude, but he was like third in his class or some shit like that. Like, J. Cole's really smart. Even with the beef, like, I think he just has foresight to say, fuck this shit, bro. Because honestly, what Kendrick and Drake did, and I can get into that, it's kind of nasty. Like, I mean, it's nasty because how do I shake your hand after this? Like, for me to go on the record and say, oh, you got molested and you beat your girl and whatever, and then on the other side, for me to say you're a PDF file, it's like, how do I go shake your hand after this from both sides? Like, I think the PDF file thing is the lowest thing you could probably be, next to like a SA guy, which I think is technically SA, but right above it is a woman beater. Like, you don't. These are two bottom of the barrel allegations. But who do y'all believe more about the allegations? I want to know. Me personally, this is my logic. For Kendrick, I told my guys the other day. I said, look, this nigga is a short former alcoholic. Is it plausible? Yes. Do we have any real evidence? No. Even with the crisis team and whatnot, I think they would have slipped out and whatnot. And I think he addressed it. Of course, he's not gonna be like, yeah, I beat her the fuck up in the middle of Vegas, but I don't know, man. I think somebody else would have used that angle, or somebody, you know what I mean, whatever. And then for Drake, the problem comes into where I don't feel comfortable with his relationships with underage women sometimes. Between the kiss and the girl on stage, he didn't know, but allegedly that happened multiple times on that tour where it was like 16, 17-year-olds. And the girls can come out all they want. That doesn't really do anything for me, but him texting Millie Bobby Brown was just totally, nah, that's kind of nasty, big bro. So what happens is people push these agendas. Like, I think Drake's agenda was, oh, you short, insecure, fucker, and that's why you beat your girl. And Kendrick's agenda was, you don't have no culture, and you got this weird relationship with women, and you always around the young Johns. Oh, you a fucking pedophile, like PDF file. So it's like, yeah, I feel like his angle. Like, I watch a lot of battle rap. They use angles. Like, that's just how it works. Like, if you got snitching shit on your name, or you got snitching to somebody close to you, they're gonna use that. That nigga don't have to show no paperwork. That's the dangerous thing about battling or competition of things. Like I said earlier, you start to slander the other side. I wonder what's next for Drake, honestly. I thought he should go away. I think he did enough. Like, I personally, I thought of the big three. I think the only one that has true room for growth is J. Cole, honestly. Because I feel like he's rapping better than ever. His songs might not be as good, but he's rapping better than ever. And I think the world does want to hear what he has to say without saying I'm the greatest rapper or niggas know not to fuck with me. I think the world does want to hear what he has to say post deleting 7-minute drill. But I'm confused of why Drake didn't go independent. If that was Stout's whole thing, he was saying like Drake breaks the music industry. Well, time to destroy that motherfucker then, because I'm about to make $600 million in a year projected by you, Stout, and I, you know what I mean? Maybe he was just talking out his ass, which he does sometimes. So we covered DJ Mustard, relation to Drake. We could talk about Sauce Walka on the Breakfast Club. I think that was a very complex thing, and it's not as simple as Sauce hating or Sauce right. I'm gonna preface this conversation with saying, I think in order to get to the top, you have to have some type of resemblance, even if you aren't, some type of resemblance of a culture vulture. I would say Ye was at the top at one point. I think Ye definitely shows elements of a culture vulture. I think Jay definitely show elements of a culture vulture. I think Drake also showed elements of a culture vulture. Now, I preface this conversation with that because I want to be totally fair. I think out of, like, in the past 20 years, excluding Eminem, you have Wayne, who's also, like, I would say this big four of the last 20 years, right? And you can have Future a little lower. He can't put the asses in seats like them, though. Wayne, I think, is the only one that seems like he really isn't culture vulture adjacent. Like, I think Wayne really wanted to do rock. I think he really got into skateboarding, probably was playing rock at the joint. He was like, yo, I would like to make this type of music. I think he really got into it. Don't do another Rebirth though, Wayne. Shout out to you. I think Wayne is the only one to truthfully step back, and even though he was forced to with the prison stint and all that, but truthfully step back, because he could have, we know Wayne could have made a whole mixtape to listen to, even though he made No Ceilings a few months before he went to jail. He could have made a whole tape before going to jail and was like, "Yeah, this is for my fans while I leave." But he left it up to Drake to go. And then I think he let Think Me Later go play out and all that. So it's like Wayne gave Nicki and Drake a great stepping stone, like a great stepping stone. And I feel like he was like the opposite of a culture vulture for them. Although I think where Wayne lacks in quote unquote substance, he picks up with in creativity. I think he picks up in just being aware of things. What he Wayne is a one-on-one, unique. Outside of the Gilly influence, Mikey Halstead, those two, BG when he was younger, Juvenile of course, but like once Wayne became Wayne, it was like he went from a great follower, and I'm not, and Jay-Z influence of course, but he went from a great follower to a great leader. I feel like he played his role. He always played his role, in my opinion. I think Wayne is very unique and egoless in a lot of ways. But yeah, Sauce was basically saying, "Yo, Drake is a vulture," and I like Charlamagne asked him about it, and he was just like, "Yo, I said he was a vulture because he's withdrawing from Houston and not depositing much." And I think maybe Nyla Simone or the other young lady on the show, or maybe even Charlamagne, said that no, like he did songs with Travis Scott, Beyonce, and Tizo, or Travis Scott, Beyonce, and Bun B. I think the Bun B thing, I think Sauce was like, no, like they're already established. I think Bun B was just not think Bun B was established way before Drake was Drake. Bun B, Beyonce was established, of course, way before Drake was Drake. One second. Yeah, so I think they were all three established artists, and Sauce finally said something that I think a lot of people do leave out in the context of Drake. Drake's just not hopping on your song for no reason. It's a business, and this is next to Jay-Z, the most shrewd businessman in the history of rap, probably. Like, so there is a benefit for Drake. I saw a lot of discourse around like, yo, he gave Future his biggest song. He gave Rick Ross his biggest song. He gave da-da-da. And it's like, yo, I understand that can all be true, but there's a flip side to that coin, as Robert De Niro said. Or was it Al Pacino? But I think it's Robert De Niro. But whatever. Shout out to that scene. There's truly a flip side to that coin. He's not going in for no reason. Whether it's like what Ross say, we let you use our face. Like, no, I'm playing my flag in Miami. Let me go with the flagship Miami artist. I'm planting my flag in Atlanta. Let me go with the flagship Atlanta artist, because getting with Future automatically unlocks all the, not minions, but the guys under Future. You got your thugs, you got your babies, you got your everybody. Even like below the Mason Dixon, or below, I would say Atlanta, honestly, Migos was going crazy. When I was introduced to Migos, it was a little bit before Versace remix, and somebody like, yo, these double time rapping niggas, they're fucking drawing down south. And I'm like, and when, Drake killed it, and Drake brought a national spotlight or international spotlight possibly to the Migos, taking them on tour a few years later, always doing collabs. Shout out to Having Our Way is crazy. Yeah, like he always does his thing with the Migos. I'm not saying he doesn't deposit anything, but Sauce was trying to say like, who's his Migos collaboration, to where there's nothing here, and he's done a song with, I guess, a Maxwell Cream or whatever. And I think it's his prerogative, because he's gonna always get that Houston support. And it depends on relationships, man. Like, I think Drake's relationship with Yo Gotti was the reason he did the Block Boy JB John. I think, you know what I mean? Like, even him doing the Young Blue thing, that was Boogie Cousins that set that up. And he probably did his research and was like, oh shit, he buzzing. All right, cool, I got you. and that led to Blue going to damn near an 8-figure deal from 6 figures. So it's like Drake's stimulus package does work as far as business goes. Like, you know, let's keep it a bean. The problem can come in where how do I say this? I know a lot of the remixes. I think Fetty Wap explained it where it's like, well, he didn't even get a chance to, but I think someone was saying like Drake's features, you don't get paid off of them on the front end, or you don't get paid off of them on the back end of that specific song. You get paid more like a Dirk sense. Dirk said his show thing went from like 35 to 40K to 80 to 100 after doing Laugh Now Cry Later. So like being on a song with Drake, you might not get paid. Like I think Your Mind Still, Blue might have not got paid off the song. I think the song belonged to Drake as far as the remix goes. That belongs to Drake. So all that profit probably goes to Drake, which is cool because you're getting this $9 million whatever, which is cool if My Way really came out, because you getting this, you know what I mean, you getting that buzz. Like 2015 and that run, there wasn't nobody hotter than Fetty Wap at that time. You had your Drake going crazy, you had your Future going crazy, but like Fetty was controlling the as far as new artists, Fetty was controlling the radio airwaves. So it's like Drake might take the song profits or the net whatever it is on the song and not charge you, and you get your money in shows, appearances, clout, and just branding deals and deals with labels, because it's next to Drake, nigga. You next to him. But yeah, I lost my train of thought a little bit. I'm sorry, but it's like I feel like for Drake, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't thing. And I think Dot put himself in the same boat doing the pop-out show. You got all these guys. Westside Boogie was involved in his last album. Blast was involved in his last album. Steve Lacy was involved in Damn before Steve Lacy had a name, before you know, he just went crazy with the last album. Who else? Mustard said he was sending a beat for years and he couldn't get through. I don't think a Mustard beat fits in none of Kendrick's albums, but that's a whole nother story. Maybe this next one, because that thing in the beginning, not like us, that sound like you just popping your shit on that album. So I don't know, but yeah, it's you kind of do put yourself in the box because you become so big to where people will call you vultures. Like, oh, he don't do enough. It's always oh, he don't do enough. And even on a lower level, we go to Meek. Cora was like, yo, he didn't charge me for the feature. Did the feature for free. Cleared it for free. Like, that's another thing. Another thing niggas be doing. Do the feature for free and don't clear it. Did the feature for free and cleared it. Like, that's I would think a Meek verse is at least worth like 50K. At least. Like, at least. Even with Meek being very cold right now. I think it's worth a lot of money. Or not a lot of money. 50K a lot. Somebody, if I found 50K right now, shit, I'll post every day. But yeah, did my fucking voice just go out? Anyway, I think that Sauce saying like, yo, he didn't work with, I think it has merit, but I think it also doesn't at the same time. I think Drake is also, he's the name, he's the guy, bro. That's the thing about being the guy, bro. People are gonna attack you. And I think even with Kendrick winning allegedly the beef, or not allegedly, but Kendrick won. But Kendrick winning the beef, but I think he'd be the injured Drake or a Wizards Jordan type Drake. I think Drake fatigue did set in. I think people were tired of him a little bit. Like, even with black women, that's his biggest audience in my opinion, outside of the white people. And they were getting a little tired of him. So it's like, you know, he came at the first time, and Kendrick had some culture cachet to tap in on. And not on some, oh, he rapped like a slave type shit. I think those were Drake's missteps. You're in the middle of a rap beef. You write about fuck the big three, is only big D in this video proof. Like, I don't know. Like, it was just a lot of Jizzy Chippendale Just got him done. Don't make me. We say got him done. Don't make me have to chip a nail. It was like I don't know. Like it was just like you rap better than this, and I think Kendrick raps better than Not Like Us per se. Like you know what I mean, but. It's like that was kind of a victory lap song. Like after Meet the Grams dropped, niggas on Twitter was kind of calling it, but who fucking cares? And then even with the miscalculation of the Heart Part 6 and all that, it was just like, okay. But I think Sauce, people naming big artists when he was saying smaller artists, I think they purposely missed the point. People being dense about Kendrick collaborating with LA artists or West Coast based artists, I think they're being dense also, truthfully. I do think I think Westside Boogie deserves a feature. I don't think whoever was on that stage deserves a feature. And that's just me. That was Rimble's first performance. Rimble didn't rap for a minute. I think Roddy was upset because his Drake feature was leaked. Or he might have leaked it, like Joe said, if I got a Drake feature and no one want to put it out, I'm leaking it. But I think he couldn't get the clearance. And I'm gonna go on stage. Like I'm drawing my line in the sand. I don't think he owes niggas features or whatever, even though they might have ostracized themselves. But YG and Drake got 3 songs. I think they got Who Do You Love? They got the other John. I think they got about 2 or 3 Johns. But it is what it is. I think I saw Chad say like, yeah, OG03 Greedo and The Game weren't there. But they declined. The Game wasn't invited. Like I can 98% confirm that. Like I can text a West Coast nigga right now and confirm that. But OG Greedo, yeah, possibly didn't want to draw a line in the sand. He possibly had a show to do himself. OG Greedo be doing art. Like them West Coast guys, it's a totally different world. Like they be the west of Texas or west of Arizona, they be having shows. They be getting their bread. But I think if the musical styles match, I think, and Kendrick is very versatile. I think his versatility is actually underrated. I think you should give him a verse. Like as long as it's match and it makes sense, yeah, give him a fucking verse. Or you want to do a collab, a West Coast Unity album, go ahead. I think Problem should get a verse. I'm pretty sure Problem might have a verse. But yeah, like. I just feel like nobody wants to have an honest conversation about it. Like where it's just like, oh, Drake's finished, or, Kendrick, this is his biggest moment. Like Not Like Us is not his biggest song. People don't really listen to Kendrick. And that's fair. But like, to speak so matter of factly, like he said on in 2016, Untitled, I forgot what track it was, maybe track 2 or like track 7, one of them. But like, basically, I don't certify my records. I don't give a fuck. Imagine if I certified all of these. So, like, Humble, by the stream count, I think the equivalent is to 13 or 14 times platinum, which is diamond and almost a half. So how the fuck is Not Like Us his biggest song? That's like saying, we see God's Plan as Drake's biggest song. I think God's Plan is bigger than Sick of Move, but, like, that's like saying that if Drake drops tomorrow and the song goes #1 for 5 straight weeks and breaks all these records and then slows momentum, like, yeah, that's his biggest song. No, it's not. You're just factually incorrect, because as time goes on, what happens to songs? They lose steam, they lose momentum. So Not Like Us might not even go diamond, and Kendrick has a couple diamond records. All the Stars, I think, is diamond. He wrote that whole shit. But yeah, Kendrick gets seen as like this selfish and it's like, niggas talk about Kendrick helping them behind the scenes all the time. I don't fucking know. But as far as the top 3 of the big 4 of the last 20 years or whatever, I think that Wayne is the only one that there's not much of an argument for him being a culture vulture, in my opinion, to be real with y'all. So shout out Lil Wayne, man. I think Ye with the Big Sean shit, Ye with the ripping of Al Farrow. I'm not sure if that was the plan. I'm not sure if Ye was already had Yeezus in mind and Al Farrow, you know what I mean, and Travis came in and was like, yo, I think you should twist it like this. I'm not sure what happened, but Ye with the Big Sean shit, even though Big Sean cleared it up, like, yeah, Ye didn't owe me $6 million. It was actually I audited Def Jam and they sent too much money to get music, and Ye wasn't in charge of the business. but Ye was basically his liaison. So I'm telling Ye, and Ye like, go to my, as we see, Ye fucking business is not in order. Go to my lawyers, and then boom. So, I think Ye does have culture vulture tendencies. For Ye to go on Drink Champs and say I was only fucking with the conscious music because I knew, like, to get established anything, you need a grassroots fan base, and I knew that's the type of people that